My name is Kshitish Soman. I work for Lyve Cloud, which is a division of Seagate, and I run their engineering group. Seagate is a storied brand in Silicon Valley. We've been around since 1979. Seagate at its core is a hard drive and storage manufacturer. So we make, in a way, boxes. But what Lyve Cloud has really done is taken that and moved into the cloud services space, and we're offering storage on the cloud. As we made that move, we realized that none of the older ways of doing software really work for us anymore. Because we are the cloud, in a way, we have 99.9959s and 79s expectations of our uptime, which means there's a very specific way in which we build and deploy our product out into wherever it gets deployed. As we started to actually scale up, we realized that this is something we couldn't do manually anymore. We are now in 5 regions across the world, almost 300 petabytes of online storage space. So we're talking about hundreds, if not thousands, of systems out there that need to be updated. So this is a fairly complex process for us. When we originally started this, we were in 2 data centers, and the process would take hours to deploy because we were cycling through one node at a time. We have been an adopter of Kubernetes pretty early on in our own journey, and we adopted it at a point where there wasn't a lot of talent out there. So we have struggled through this process. We had programmers sometimes spending multiples of days, sometimes doing builds, not even talking about the deploys, which take forever. We were probably losing somewhere in the range of 15 to 18% of our actual productivity in stuff that really needed to be automated. And having your best employees waste their time doing stuff like this is often a problem. They are most likely to walk away from work because they're wasting their time doing stuff that they don't find creative enough. We looked at some options on doing things the modern way, and Harness really jumped at us as one of the candidates to work with as we started exploring what we needed to do to make ourselves more efficient. I think one of the things that originally attracted me to Harness, and that's probably because I'm a whiteboard and box drawing person, is really the visual part of the, I call it storytelling, but it's really building the pipelines. And it's the ability to draw and build your pipeline and let the system write the code. Once we went into the Harness pipeline space, I think we made things parallel. So every one of my software development team can run at their own speed and get stuff out for themselves. There's no queuing, there's no waiting for that one expert who can solve problems because there's automation here. So in those terms, I think our capacity to actually deliver may have gone up several fold. I would hazard as much as 5-fold. Probably saving about 25% in actual build time. We're saving maybe 30-something% in time spent in troubleshooting our pipelines. We're using templates, so there's less time spent in actually building brand new templates or building brand new pipelines every time somebody comes up with a new project. I think that's a huge win that ultimately translates into us being able to actually deliver more product features faster. And as we adopted the tool, we also realized we could do a lot of other things, like put in better security controls, better compliance controls, all kinds of RBACs and other things that otherwise would have been manually enforced. Now, we are an ISO and SOC compliant product, which means there are certain expectations. Every 6 months, we go through an audit. That audit requires us to not only go and claim that we are compliant with certain things, but actually provide proof of that. So that's another area where having automation and a product like Harness actually helps us, because we can pull reports and other stuff like who are the people who are touching these things, who are actually deploying. Having Harness, the ability to use templates, the ability to run multiple pipelines, the ability to run multiple builds in parallel and get them into different deployment environments for testing, automated testing, and so on and so forth. All of that has really added a lot of value, taken away some pain points. For me, if I save 15% or more of my best programmer's time, that's 15% or more of that time that's going towards something more creative and more important that they can solve. We are a customer-focused business. So anytime a customer calls, if my answer to them is going to be, hold on a second, somebody's trying to solve a deployment problem, they're going to throw a fit. So if that's the kind of environment I work in, then it's important that we not waste time in doing some of these things. So that's where harness, automation, all of these things really help us a lot.